Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you find yourself. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another trading day. It's Tuesday, 29th of April, 2025. Now, let's start with the dollar index as usual. But before we do have news event at 3 p.m. today, so just be aware of it, that there's going to be a news event at 3 p.m. today, and it can affect price. And what else in terms of announcement? I think that's it. There's no more announcements. Okay, so let's start with the dollar index. So yesterday I was looking for price to find support here, but I managed to trade through it, and I was expecting them to take out this low, dip into this fair value gap, and reject and go up, because the bias for this week is that we need to take out this high. So that is what I'm still expecting to unfold going forward. And with that said, going forward, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, and I did give a couple of trade ideas relative to the fact that we might experience dollar going for the previous week high. The first trade was dollar CAD buying below this low here and then going for the previous week high. It came to the entry and then rejected, kind of stayed in a bit of consolidation, but I still think that will be the case. We'll be going for the previous week high, so look for that as a target for maybe between now and Friday. I also gave a trade idea on dollar yen, but this one did actually stop out the first one, and basically since the target is still the previous week high, all it did was take out the low here and then reject it. So I did find a fair value gap in New York session, which is this one here, for another entry, and you can see so far they've rejected. I still think that will be the case. We will come for the previous week high. So a continuation to the upside on the dollar yen is still valid, right? So look for that continuation. You can still get back in if you, I think by now some of you might understand how the market works. So if it stops out like this, the logic is not on this time frame, it's on the high time frame. So all that is doing is just a stop run. Okay, and then it will reject and go up, because the high time frame logic is what we are trading, not the lower time frame. The other trade was euro. Euro was also a sell to come down. I think first target was somewhere here. Lucky enough, that one did not take out the high, so we are still in that. I think there was another trade. Can't remember now. Pound was going to reject the high, so we rejected the high, and so far we've rejected everything coming back down. I think pretty much that's it. Pound Aussie, still looking for the rejection to come down. So I'm expecting price to continue going down. And I think the last one was crude oil, which I mentioned that once we take out this low, once we take out that low, we will be looking for a rejection. Okay, so let's see if it will reject, because from the high time frame perspective on the weekly, we've taken out a weekly high, so it will take out a weekly low, which they've done. So I'm expecting ideally a rejection, not necessarily a rejection to go up, but since we are trading below a previous week low with an auto block right there, which is this one here, that is why I'm expecting the rejection. And that rejection, I want to see them trade up here. Okay, so let's see if that will manifest. And then I think that's pretty much all that I shared. Yeah. The other trade idea was on the cryptos, which we will get there. But let's look at price action. I think, like I said, I'm looking for a move to the upside. And euro, I'm looking for a move to the downside. So pretty much what I've said so far, that's all that I'm looking for. All right, gold. Okay, so gold, it couldn't go above the fair value gap, so the run below the previous week low is still in the cards. The previous week low might still be taken, and then we expect a quick rejection. So I'm not actually interested in longs until this low is taken. So just be patient, let them take that low out, then you can start looking for a rejection. Now, as I mentioned yesterday, don't go in straight away looking for their rejection. All right, make sure that once we go below the low, then there will be a confirmation that price is going up before you get in. Because if you get in before we get a confirmation price is going up, sometimes it might continue going down, like I said, somewhere here before we resume going up. So once we go below the low, just be patient, let price continue going down, like I said, somewhere here before we resume going up. Just be patient. It wants to go up. Okay, that's not what I'm teaching. I'm saying once it gets here, based on the weekly time frame, it needs to reject and go up. So the rejection is what will give you the entry to buy. But if you don't reject, now what do I mean by rejection? when price gets here, okay, you want to look for a buy pattern to form. That is what I mean by rejection. If that does not happen, don't do anything, just sit and wait, because it can do this and then we come back up. All right, so that is that for the the US gold, or gold USD. ES, I think yesterday I was looking for a run to this level. That's the gap on the weekly, and I was looking for the buy to happen somewhere down here, but it couldn't get there. That was a shame, because during the New York session, when it started falling, I was convinced we were gonna trade here and then I'll get a buy to continue going up, but that did not happen. So I think maybe because Monday went up, right? It didn't go down, it went up. Tuesday also going up, so we might drop down and then go up. Now whatever happens, I want you to still consider that level, even if it does not give you a big trade to go up. It will give you something. Okay, it's gonna give you something. A day trade. It can also give you a scalp, and it can give you what I'm looking for, which is straight up here. Whatever happens, because I've said several times about gaps that happens in New York session. Okay, very, very extremely important during the New York session. I think they are more important than gaps that actually form during the London session. Okay, that's my experience, and that's just my opinion. They are more important than gaps that form during the London session. Okay, because if it is a gap, it will have a reaction. Like for example, over here you can see. Let me drop down to the 15 minutes. Right here. Okay, that reaction. Think over here. That's a reaction of a gap. Over here, that's a reaction of a gap that formed in New York session. And even if you drop down to a lower time frame, here, that's a reaction in the New York session. Right here, you zoom in. Right here, as a gap that formed in New York session. Okay, so New York session gaps are extremely important, so we don't want to play around them. We want to take them serious. Even this one right there, watch that. I think they already, there you go. I didn't even see it, but it's a wick. Came right to that. Ignore this. This is the one. It came right there and then rejected. Okay, so they are very important gaps that price usually react off from them. So wherever there is one, just pay attention to it. And as a matter of fact, if you can center all your trading around the New York session gaps, your trading will be much consistent, because that's the same thing, the same gap that I used here. That's a New York session gap, right? I think dollar CAD, same thing, New York session gap. Okay, so there you go. Now let's move on to crypto market. Okay, so with the crypto market, as I was expecting AI16Z and move to that fair value gap. I think we came very close to it and price rejected. I still expect them to trade to it, so let's see if we can get a move to that level. On the lower time frame, it's just a pullback. We will resume going up there, so don't see it as a reversal. Focus on the high time frame and expect price to trade here. Solana, let's go to the daily. Okay, so again, I think I said as long as we're above this gap here, this will go up again, so expect that. We don't want them to lose this gap here, so expect a continuation to the upside. Bitcoin yesterday couldn't close above the previous month high on a daily basis. Let's see if today can do that. Okay, because it's still hanging around that previous month high. Okay, let me draw the line. Okay, it's still hanging around that previous month high, and the idea is tomorrow is 30th of April. We want, there you go, that. Okay, we want that green candle by the close of tomorrow's price action. We want this green candle to be activated. If it does, then we are game time for higher prices on Bitcoin, and that will affect all the other cryptocurrencies. So let's see if by the close of today we can get this candle to turn green, or tomorrow. The idea is between today and tomorrow. But if you're looking to buy, I would say wait, be patient, because we've gone up too much, and where we are, if we don't close and you buy, it might pull back and you be in a drawdown. So sit tight and wait. Pull back and you be in a drawdown. So sit tight and wait. Okay, let's move on. Ethereum. So Ethereum, it's gonna trade through this gap, as I mentioned. It's also going to depend on how the it's going to depend on how the Bitcoin will trade where we are. So we need Bitcoin to basically trade through the high. Once we can trade through the high, then we can expect Ethereum to trade above 1954.18 and then 21066. Okay, so if we if you can get Bitcoin to trade above the monthly high and close, then Ethereum will trade through this and then above this high and then here. Most importantly, this one, if we can trade through this, that would be very, very good. In my opinion, it will, because they've managed to trade through this imbalance in here. Okay, this one, they've managed to trade through it, which is a good sign. So most of the time the up candle will give way, but it's just a gap on the lower time frame that is resisting it, but we will expect them to trade through. Okay, so all eyes on Bitcoin. And then hype, yesterday I gave a trade idea on hype that we will be looking for them to come up here and then trade up there. On the lower time frame, all that it did was come into a pullback, so I'm expecting it to continue go there. It was come into a pullback, continue going up. Now initially the stop loss was somewhere here, which I think that was a mistake on my part, because I was using the H4. On the H4 I was placing the stop loss here just for to get more risk to reward, but on the 1 hour time frame the stop loss was meant to be here. So if you did get, I don't think you should get stopped out on this, because in the 1 hour time frame this is the range, so that gap, that auto block price is gonna go up. I was on the H4, so I didn't pay attention on the 1 hour, but it's gonna reach for this and then that level, so look for that continuation to the upside. Ripple, the same thing. I think yesterday came very close to that level and then rejected. It might just reaccumulate here again, so they might print today, or probably might not even be, but if anything it might just be another down candle and then another up candle will follow. Okay, so let's see if we can get I would like today to go up. Okay, I don't want them to print a down candle today. I would like to see today go up. So let's see if today can be an up candle. On the H4, the reason why, or the reason being, we have a down candle here, we have a nice gap here, we've already traded to this candle's high, so we don't need any more move to the downside. We're supposed to be going up. So let's see. Okay, even if you zoom in, which that's why I don't like this monitor, because it's too small, we have this candle, that one closing above this, so on the lower time frame we should have a range this low to this high, so we are meant to be going up. Okay, so let's see. Tatsuo, nice rejection. We're heading towards that closing price that I mentioned. Oh, sorry, the opening price of the previous month. This one here. We're heading towards it. Now, with today's candle, it's showing some good signs of potentially price. With today's good signs between here and there, it's not much, right? We've printed such candles before, so it can reach, well, maybe not this high, but if today can sustain and go up just a little bit more, then tomorrow will be very good for price to say today reaches maybe somewhere here, then tomorrow can do something like this, and that will get us a close above the opening price of the previous month. Then we'll be looking for price to aim for this high and then that high. All right, whatever happens as it stands, as long as we don't come back below this low here, this high is going to be taken. Okay, but maybe not this. If we don't close above this closing opening price of the previous month high, maybe not that one, but this will likely be taken. Okay, and on the weekly, that will look like a potential gap here, and that will be good for next month, because this can act as resistance for next month low to form and then resume going up. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that will be the case between today and tomorrow. And then lastly, Chachki. So Chachki still struggling to go above this level here, which is the previous month low. The previous month low, there is that one, still struggling. Okay, now we have 2 days, today and tomorrow, to go. Maybe price can penetrate it. Okay, so if price is able to penetrate it, that will be very good, because that will give us more reason to look for a continuation to the upside. So between today and tomorrow, let's see if we can penetrate it. Now this is not support, sorry, this is not resistance. It's just a previous month low that price is struggling to go through. It is not resistance. Okay, because support and resistance, traders will draw a line like this, and then they will be convinced that that's support, resistance, but in my opinion, that is not. Support and resistance, and then they will be convinced, but in my opinion, that is not. So trade through it. Hopefully, that's also going to depend on how Bitcoin is going to trade. So all eyes on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin gives us what we are looking for, definitely it will be game time to the upside for all the other cryptos. All right, so that is pretty much it for today. Hopefully you all got something out of today's session. I will see you all same time tomorrow for another session. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good time, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.